I'm Julius Poole. I am a casting director and creative producer.
Oh, nice to meet you. Can you describe the casting process for the Trey show?
Oh, I loved it. Her whole idea was to take on the age of innocence and romanticism. So when I did the casting, I actually went by how ethereal the model would look and how pure, and also the hair was very important because I thought it should be like not ringlets but wavy, so that we create, the famous painting of Venus? Well, that's also a reference.
Oh, nice. That sounds great. What qualities do you look for in a model that makes a good fit for the Trey show today?
For me, it was really the poetic period face. It was like a deconstructed version of Bridgerton. That's the best way to describe it.
Okay, great. How do you ensure diversity and inclusion into your casting choices?
Well, I've been asked this question so many times, even by the New York Times. I was interviewed about it. I think inclusion is very important when it comes to people of color. You can be Asian, you can be Hispanic, you can be Latina, you can be African American, you can be from Africa, but as long as there's like inclusion, that's very important. Representation does matter.
Yes, exactly. How do you collaborate with the designer and the creative team to ensure that the models align with their vision?
With Trey, it was easy because Simi, I have to admit, is such a team player and she's so pleasant. So when she actually gave us the idea, a lot of people thought that she wanted the crowns and everything else, but I was like, maybe we need to deconstruct it. And each model, that to me was it sealed the deal when they came for the fittings. Each model said that they felt like a princess and they felt pretty and they really loved the clothing. So that was an added bonus. So if a client is a team player and listens to suggestions and is open to it, that makes it worthwhile.
Yeah, sounds great. What trends or changes have you noticed in the fashion industry regarding the model casting in recent years?
The trend that I don't like is how people are quick to cast models based off of their Instagram likes and how many followers there are. There could be a girl that has the purest and most beautiful face, and then she's tweaked in terms of walking and posing. Why shouldn't she have that same chance? Just because someone has 100,000 followers doesn't make them a good model. And I rarely book anybody off of Instagram. I've only done it once, and it was successful. But when I do see most of the models that are supposed to be Instagram models or influencers, they're either way too short or they don't really fit the requirement. And even the walk is a little off.
I understand. Can you tell us about any new or emerging model you are excited about this show?
If you're talking about the Trey show,
yes.
I loved all of them. And there's only one that I worked with, and that was Lucy. But I loved all these girls because they were new, they were fresh. And the funny thing is that during the casting, there were so many great girls that I had a hard time trying to pick it and narrow it down. I'm not lying. It was really interesting. I thought the model agencies were really helpful. The girls that they sent me, a lot of them were quite beautiful. It was a really tough decision for me to pick and choose which ones. Even if a girl actually, which does happen sometimes, they call in sick or they can't make it, I had a backup plan. I had a list of other girls that I could get, but I was really happy with it. I was pleasantly surprised. I really was.
Yes. How would you describe a typical day in your life?
If it's during Fashion Week, you're always on call. I would say that everyone thinks that once you have the casting and you've confirmed the models, that's it. No, you have to also set up the fittings. And then that's not over with until the models are all here. And then I can relax. Once they all show up, that's the most important thing. But it is a process. It's not sometimes you do castings, it could be 2 or 3 days. This one only took a day, thank God. But it took me 2 days to confirm. The fittings, you have to make sure that the models can make it, and they have such busy schedules. So for me, it was really helpful that you can choose the right models, but you have to make sure that if you choose the right models, that that particular girl has enough time to actually be in the show. Like if I had a girl that was running late and had too much hair and makeup, then it's really difficult. Like how am I going to get that girl out of the hair and makeup so that she looks like this?
What advice would you give to aspiring models looking to be cast in high-profile fashion shows?
Know what you're getting into. If you're too young, make sure that you have parental guidance. That's really important. Be realistic. It may be glamorous, but there are grueling days. And before you make money, you'll be spending money. I think it's important that they also do research, because if you have an agent, it's important to develop that, how do I put it, your rapport. It's really important to know who is handling your career. I mean, it's your agent. So if the connection is there, go for it. If the connection is a little off, then don't.